So I'm making this video to document my journey from the previous video to getting to 60 without boosting. This was this challenge that I wanted to say in the last video, but kind of forgot about mentioning it, is to make this a challenge to get my Shaman to 60 before June 2nd, which is the EU release of the Burning Crusade. I'm trying to keep this video relatively short, just gonna add some highlights and some things that happened throughout, and where I've went and what level I am in the end of this video, because it's most likely gonna be the first part of two. Well, technically this is the second part, with the video before being the first part. Things of course weren't as chaotic as they were in the starting zone, but there were still some nice and fun things happening throughout, and I will just document them and just show some highlights of what happened. So yeah, I've been suffering from Bloodmist a bit more, and I've been reading some funny, looking for group messages. Why am I reading this? Deny entrance to tyrannizing the Stormwind. This fine human city does not need filthy immigrants. Say that to the dwarves, the night elves, and the gnomes too? One thing I have noticed though is that a lot of people from SMS have already moved to Bloodmist from this point, and there was a lot more going on over in Bloodmist. So some quests where the areas were already cleared out, but you had to collect like these, for example, Dragon Bones, and I could just go there and pick them up, and it was super easy. A few fights I still had to do though. No, Totem, what are you doing? Come on, let me get this on. There we go. Gift of the Naru is such a godsend sometimes. So yeah, the upcoming quest for the area were pretty simple at this point. It wasn't really that suffer-worthy like the ones I have mentioned in the previous video, the Bear Flanks for example. So I went through this, went to level 19 and pretty much finished all quests by defeating Razormaw. And then, yeah, I decided to get out of there. I was 19, I needed one more level to get my water totem. And I was just basically hit with this overwhelming sensation of doing a dungeon. So I gathered all the quests for Deadmines and decided to run it. Upon doing Deadmines, I noticed that the itemization of dungeon items have changed quite a bit. For example, a hammer that was white before is now a blue hammer that is really good. So I had rolled on it and I actually won it. But however, once we got to Smite, Smite dropped his hammer, which was an upgrade to that one as well. I rolled on it and won that one as well. After completing Deadmines, it was back to Bloodmist as I reached level 20, because now it was the Water Totem quest time. And boy, let me tell you about the Water Totem quest, because that is just an annoying fetch quest. So basically what you had to do is go over from Exodar to Bloodmist to talk to a water elemental that is underwater, and that water elemental sends you to kill some fouled water spirits. After collecting whatever the fouled water spirits were dropping you, then you go back to the elemental. Then comes the most annoying part, which is the big fast scratch part, which is you have to go all the way down to Ashenvale to collect a purified water sample in a Boda bag. And once you got that sample, you of course have to go all the way back to that water elemental. Oh boy. If you were clever, you'd set a Hearthstone at Bloodwatch, of course, if your Hearthstone was not on cooldown. Once you have returned, the water elemental sends you to kill some blood elf and get his head, and once you have done, you talk to the water elemental again, and then finally you can go back to the Exodar and get your water totem. So yeah, as you can tell, that is a really annoying long quest for just getting the water totem. Yeah, glad I got that behind me now. After all that, I decided to go over to Redwich and start questing there and get some level ups there. And then after a while, I also decided to run Stockades, since I've collected a couple of Stockades quests. There wasn't too much noteworthy to say about Stockades. I just had a bunch of quests that said kill X amount of this, collect X amount of that, and the loot in Stockades was also always pretty much non-existent. So yeah, I just did a few runs, did another level up in there, and then I was pretty much off to one of my favorite zones, which is Duskwood. Unfortunately, it seems like I've lost all the footage from Duskwood. Damn it. So I'll just skip to when I reached level 30, and that means I could get my mount, because now in TBC you get your mount at level 30 instead of 40. And with level 30 I could also get my air totem. Now I could also make another map like I did with the water totem, but basically the air totem is super simple to do, which is very surprising. You basically take the quest inside the Exodar, go onto the peak of where the Exodar has landed, talk to an NPC, talk to an elemental, and then go back to the Exodar to get your air totem. That's it. With the completion of the air totem quest, I also had gotten a buff that increased my movement speed and my attack speed, so I just decided, hey, let's just go grind a whole bunch of mobs until this buff is over. So I went over to Duskward and just grinded a lot of ogres until the buff was over after like an hour. Now level 30 is what I call the traveling stage of leveling, because you constantly go from 30 zone to 30 zone, to that quest, to this chain quest, which leads from one zone to the other zone. In the end, I just ended up in Stranglethorn and ended up in Dustdweller Marsh, which to my surprise had a lot more quests and more interesting quests as well. I didn't really record them, but in the end, I reached level 40 as well. Upon level 40, enhancement shamans get dual wielding. Note if they put every point so far into enhancement, that is. And besides getting dual wielding, they also get the ability to train mail armor. But that night I stood up till 6 in the morning and I was just ready to fall asleep, which I pretty much immediately did. Anyways guys, I know this video didn't have as many jokes as the previous one, but I hope you enjoyed it anyways. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and all other good jazz. And if you want to watch me go live, I'm going live on twitch.tv/ShadowStarGames. Until the next video guys, bye!